So this is, I guess, going to be part two of the video I did yesterday of life will never be the same again. There's a couple things that I forgot to mention, just mainly because my dad has been my primary focus of what happened, and I'm trying to get through that. So as you know, um, my dad was taken to the hospital July 19th or July 20th, somewhere around there, and passed away July 23rd, which was a Thursday. So 24th, 27th, which was that Monday, was his funeral. And about an hour, maybe 2 hours before my dad's graveside service, got a call from my aunt saying that my grandma, his mom, had a stroke. So, I'm already just so, just so stressed and just worried about getting through that day for my dad's funeral that I didn't process at all my grandma having the stroke. And I guess I really still haven't processed it because my dad is still on my mind, like, nonstop. Obviously he's going to take precedence for me over my grandma. Yeah, it's still sad that she had the stroke, but it's, my dad took precedence. So, fast forward about a week and a half, maybe almost 2 weeks after my dad's funeral. My grandma had that stroke on my dad's funeral. She went unconscious, and she was unconscious until her passing a week and a half later, 2 weeks later. So I lost my dad and my grandma within a week of each other. And you would think in situations like that, family would come together, be there for each other more, but it didn't happen. It lasted maybe a day or two, maybe 3 days, but after all, the smoke's cleared, so to speak, at the end of the day, it's just me and my mom. It's a shame that we don't have more family members wanting to step up or trying to, be there for each other more. But that's just how it is. My dad's side, anyway, was there wasn't much left on his side, anyway. You have my uncle, my two uncles, and my aunt, his brothers and sisters. Some of the things that one of my uncles said as his brother is, it's pissed me off. I've been this close about going off on him. He just needs to get his face beat in. And some of the comments he's saying, because their mom died, right? And so what's one of the first things he says is, thank God we don't have to split the house or the money 4 ways. In my mind, that's saying he's happy that my dad died so that they don't have to split the money 4 ways. Yeah. So there's a bunch of things going on there that I never liked him anyway. He's a condescending piece of shit who judges people, and he was gay his whole life, and then he all of a sudden found God, and he was this holy man now, and then now all of a sudden he just, he might as well tell that story. This is where I vent, right? He had a dream one night that his grandma came to him in a dream saying being gay is a sin and all this other stuff. That's when he woke up the next day. He decided to become a man of God, tried to become a what's it called? A missionary, I guess? I don't know, something. Who knows? Some type of I don't know. Who knows? But some time passed, and now he's back to, being gay, supposedly, and all this other. He's like the biggest liberal of the family, too, might I add. And I should just give you the link to his Facebook, and you can see how ridiculous he is, and he makes no sense. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, families should be there for each other, and it seems like mine isn't. And that's unfortunate, but you know what? It's all we need is each other, me and Mom. So trying to get her through that as well. There's a bunch of stuff going on. Like I said, my dad passed and my grandma passed. So this in the past 2 years or so. And you can see all these videos that I posted up. I think the first one started with my grandpa. It was Jim. It was called Imagine That. And then after that, my other grandpa passed away. Then after that, my other grandma. And after that, my dad. And then my grandma again. On my dad's side. So I officially have no grandparents on either side, and now I don't have a father. All I have left is my mom. And it's hard to mention anybody in the family because they're not there, and they're just not. We had some that were there, and then they just they helped out a little bit in the beginning when this happened, and then like I said, it was just I get we all have lives, but so do I. But I'm doing the best I can to be here and there and at work, and I don't know, Anyway, that was a little bit of information I forgot to mention yesterday's video. Like I said, if you never lose someone this close to you, you couldn't possibly know what I'm going through or what somebody's going through, right? Like I said, it's a hard pill to swallow. You're used to being that person being there for you, being your rock, talking to him every day, getting advice, shooting the shit, being there for you when you're crying, when you're mad, when you're sad, this everything. And then next minute, not there anymore. I do like what Darren said in the comments. Darren, thank you. It does help. And when you start thinking of those memories of the good times and you start laughing, that means, he's right there with you. And I do hope he's here. I'm not one to necessarily believe in afterlife or ghosts, things of that nature, but there's been quite a few instances where something happened that we can't explain. This never happened before. I'll tell you one. The day of my dad's passing, it was about 2:33 in the morning. This has never happened before. We've been at this place for 5 years now. And the smoke detector in our room went off. Not once, but twice. After the first time, obviously it scared the Jesus out of us. And the first thing I said was, I hope that wasn't a sign that something's happened to my dad. And it went off again. Finally fell back asleep. A few hours later, got the call that my dad became disoriented, like he didn't know where he was, and he started thrashing around. And then had a stroke. The stroke then, and if you're watching this, Mom, I'm sorry, but this helps me vent. The stroke he went unconscious from the stroke. And then shortly after that, from what the doctor said, he choked to death pretty much. From the contents of his stomach came up and he died. What I'm mad about is that when you're laying up in a hospital for an X amount of time, they need to make sure you're moving. They need to make sure, check on you, do tests that you don't develop pneumonia. They didn't do any of that for him. And apparently that was one of the main reasons, is that I forgot the first term of that, but as pneumonia after it, where that was the coughing up of the stomach contents pretty much, and he choked on it. Apparently he had some type of pneumonia, but they didn't check for that. They just wanted to do test after test after test. He needed open heart surgery, but they'd rather do tests first. We took him to a local hospital here. They said they couldn't do anything for him. Then we took him to a new one, Javon Bay. It's like trauma center or whatever. They put a balloon in him. They said there was nothing else they could do for him. They had to airlift him to Milwaukee. This is how the stroke happened. My dad's disabled. He broke his back in 97. 97, 98, somewhere. I think it was 97. He was already on his back at this point for 2 days, just laying on his back, not being able to move, and that puts him in so much pain that kills him. Like literally, it's the pain threshold there. He said, "You guys need to move me. This pain's gonna kill me." And he asked for a stent or something. I don't know. Basically, asked for the balloon to be removed so that he could move into a more comfortable position. From what I'm gathering, they told us the danger of removing the balloon, what would happen once a foreign object is put into a body. The blood around that foreign object coagulates. So what they didn't tell my dad is that if they would to remove that, then that would form a blood clot and it would kill him. Well, when they moved it, he stroked out. This is why I don't respect hospitals anymore. They're not about saving lives. Unless you have insurance money, they don't care about you. And that's sad. And I guess the only liberal thing about me, if you want to call it liberal, you want to call it whatever, is that honestly, healthcare should be one of those things that are, if not free, way more affordable than what it is. A lot of people can't afford insurance, even if they do have a job. A lot of them can't afford it if they have a family to raise, right? Kids. $38,000 for a helicopter ride. That was his bill. Plus countless others that I'm sure are about to pop in the mail soon. Because he didn't have insurance, I truly believe that they didn't want to save him. He was right there in ICU. There's no reason they shouldn't have been able to save him. He shouldn't be gone right now. Doctors don't care about us. They just don't. You know, it's their job should be to cure you, not treat you. Right? If they cure you, then they'll have no job, right? They want to keep treating you. They want to keep putting you on, say you have ADD, give you medicine for that, right? Side effects of that medication after a while gives you, what, liver failure or something, let's say kidney failure. Put you on medication for that. You know, it's a never-ending vicious circle, right? They don't ever want you to get off medication. So, yeah, 2020 can go to hell. It's been the shittiest year that I've ever had. And I'm just done with it. I'm tired of it. It's something good needs to happen now, right? Thank you guys. If you watch this, I appreciate it. Take care.